Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Oh shit, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wrestling with Savage. We're here with Jay yet again, and we're already making mistakes on the show, but it's okay because Jay's here, and we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw, which unfortunately we just had to witness. Jay, did you watch all of it? Did you catch it all?
Absolutely watched all of it. How about you?
Yeah, I watched every single minute of it because I was really curious to see, what they were going to bring to the table after what we saw last week on all the other shows. And I was hoping they were going to bring the heat tonight, Raw opened up from North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex. Basically, as soon as it opened up, we got the same bullshit rinse and repeat. Let's play another 5-minute trailer to remind you all what happened last week between RK Bro and the Usos, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre. Just the same rinse and repeat formula, man. Give this to us later in the show. Why are you giving the same thing again ASAP? Why can't you make it more exciting? Make it like Saturday Night Live used to be, live from wherever the fuck we are. Monday Night Raw, and then just have something. So they have Theory come out, have a banger of a match. Do something. What are you giving me tonight?
I thought it started off great. I thought it started off where it needed to start off. It needed to start off with the champion. We haven't seen the champion on Raw since when?
No, I'm not complaining about Tribal Chief coming out. I'm complaining about the video package again. If that's the case, it should have just been the Tribal Chief just kicks off Raw.
It's always like that.
I'm sick of it.
They always do that.
I'm sick of this formula. Anyway, we like Jay mentions, we had a segment right away with Roman Reigns opening up. You got the Usos, you got the special counsel Paul Heyman, the undisputed Universal Champion. What do you... Tell me, let's talk about him right now. What do you think about the big dog now transforming into the Tribal Chief? What are your thoughts on the man?
Well, I appreciated that he came out because I thought the show actually started where it needed to start. It needed to start with the champion. I think, when was the last time we see the champion? Past 2 weeks has been since we've seen the champion on Raw, because it's always been the Bloodline and the RKO taking over Raw and SmackDown. So it needed to start off, and it built up just like we've been talking about in previous episodes. It's leading up to Drew and Roman, but you know what they're doing, Savage? They're slow balling this. That's what they're doing to us. The first thing on Raw was breaking news. Now it's a 6-man tag. They're slow balling this Drew and Roman match, and we're seeing it in our very own eyes. They're saving it for something big. I think personally, Hell in a Cell. I would have booked it.
Possibility, but they're also just slow balling his title reign. They want to make sure they can add as many days to it and just chunk it up and beef it up, and they're gonna keep going with this whole Tribal Chief thing for a while.
If you're gonna do it, be Hogan's record. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna do it, go past it. No offense to the man.
You don't see Drew beating Roman right now, right? For the title?
Absolutely not. He's just a person that's just there.
Not a shot. He's got no shot. Not a shot.
I'll give it credit to this promo. What I like about it is that Drew is finally out of that mid-card slump that he's been on, fighting this Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss crap.
Yeah.
And now he's where he needs to be. He needs to be main event level, regardless when he loses to Roman, because we all know that. But this is where he needs to be regardless. He needs to be a main level spot, not mid-cards. He needs to be main event. He is money, man. He is money. And they know it will sell, and that's why I say Hell in the Cell,
He does like
to
eat well.
Why not?
He does like to eat and live well, and that costs a lot of money, so you got to pay the man. Otherwise, he's not going to live the life he wants, Got to pay the man. I agree. Anyway, we heard a lot of talk from the Bloodline tonight. Basically, that the Bloodline's never wrong. We also, Heyman mentioned that we're going to have a special treat tonight because Roman's here. And because of that, you have to acknowledge him. And, of course, he got some cheers. He got some boos. But it was cool to see the double RKO out of nowhere because you didn't really see that coming. They pulled it off pretty nice. Overall,
nice spot.
It was a nice spot, but overall, I give that segment a 2-star because it could have been better. I mean, and then it was kind of corny. Drew comes out with a sword. What is he gonna do? He's really gonna stab Roman Reigns or decapitate him or something? And it made up for it, I guess, when he told RKO to, like, you know, just bounce. I got this. So I thought we were going to see something. And then, of course, yeah, you know, it goes to shit and we get nothing. And, you know, boom. I gave the whole thing a 2-star, man. 2-star. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. You?
I'm going to say 2.5 just for the double RKO spot.
He's going higher than me.
Just a half. Just a tad half. But I'm going to go 2.5 because I thought it was a nice surprise RKO. I was like, oh, wow, they just came and did it. I just thought the way Jimmy and Jay took it, I thought they could have took it a little better, which made it look a little sloppy in your eyes. So I kind of see your perspective. But honestly, it was a surprise to me. So I give it just a half for that. But overall, not even Roman Reigns could save this promo. Not even Drew. It's just horrible. And it looks like 6-man tag is the new thing now in wrestling. 6 or 8 or 10 or 12. It looks like we're seeing a pattern over here. I'll
just say this. That was smart booking because they just made Randy look like a beast. And you can't have Randy and Riddle running in there, having Roman making them look like bums. You know.
I like the spot when Randy and Roman were just fighting themselves. I thought that was even awesome. Everybody should have just left the ring. They were just doing their thing. Randy doing their thing. Roman, I was like, okay. I don't mind seeing that feud.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to see Drew get the best of Roman for a second. Then, of course, Drew got jumped by the Usos, and then the RK Bro comes in. The whole thing goes to shit. Security comes out, and that's pretty much the end of that. Back from commercial with a replay of what just happened again. You know, and that's what really bothered me tonight. You know, Raw opens up with a fucking replay. Then after the segment, we got another replay to remind us of what we just saw because we're that fucking stupid, and that's what we want to do with our time. Watch the same shit again instead of see something exciting and new and interesting. Let's just watch what we just saw again, but this time with more commentary about the same shit and the same match coming up, because that's what we do here at WWE. It's good shit. It's good shit, Vince.
Let's add more people to the mix. Why not?
Well, anyway, after that we got another video.
14.
I'm sorry. We're going to just get right into it so you can give me what you think about this one right here. We got another video from earlier today. Street Profits get interrupted by Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother, in case you didn't know. They pass him a red cup. They count to 3. They all say Zeke. After that, they were interrupted by Chad and KO. I got to say, Gable has brilliant work on the mic lately. His little one-liners, they're all funny. He's actually making a presence in every segment he's in. And I can see a bright future for him if he can get an opportunity to be the main heel. I think he could be like an MJF even, but WWE's clean boy version. Gable's good. He's underrated. I don't know if you agree with that or not. I'll let you tell me. You agree with that? What do you think? You think he's underrated?
I think on the mic he's underrated. Nobody
definitely
really questions his ability to wrestle. We all know he can.
He can wrestle his ass off, baby.
But I think he's underrated on the mic. I think he's improving. I think he's more confident now. You know, and I think he made Otis 10 times better, man. And I mean, look at Otis, the way he was when he came in and the evolution. So you got to give props to Gable, man.
I do. He's big time, and I wish he gets a brighter future ahead of him. Hopefully he makes some money out of this whole Alpha Academy run. I don't see it lasting a very long time because WWE is good at just splitting up talent and, you know, turning storylines into it and whatever, you know, they do. But basically, KO went on to say that he's sick of the lies. He's sick of Ezekiel. He said, you guys are just drinking on the job. Gable was telling him about lie detectors can be faked. And then KO basically was making promises that he is going to get to the bottom of this. And he's gonna show everyone that this guy's a liar. And he's lying his ass off. And then, of course, we have a match between them immediately. Like, there was no waste in this. At least we didn't go to another commercial. I appreciated that we had the segment, and then, boom, we get the match between KO and Alpha Academy versus Ezekiel and the Street Profits. I'm going to let Jay take the first take on this one, man. Did you see the match? Of course you did. What'd you think?
I gotta say, before the match, I thought KO had an awesome shirt. He had a big time back, so I thought that was freaking awesome. That being said, I thought this match was, you know, how many times have we seen this? I mean, we've seen 6-man, 8-man tags. I mean, we see this all the time. There was some nice spots in the match. It was a nice sequence by Gable when he just got in a. He was in an arm hold, and then he just tried to get out with a bridge, and then he countered it to another arm hold. I thought that was pretty awesome. It was a nice sequence. He even said thank you to the crowd with a peace sign. So he was even mocking them, and they're in North Carolina. So I thought that was pretty cool. There was the triple drop kick sock at Ezekiel Street Profits on Otis. So I thought that was another cool spot. Otis hit a nice splash on Montez Ford once we came back from the break. I thought that was a cool spot too. It was a lot of nice spots going to Raw in this whole match.
I was really impressed with the start of the match, bro. Like, I thought there was a big-time opening sequence between Dawkins and Gable, and that was actually pretty impressive from Dawkins. That's not going to lie. That's the first time that I think he ever impressed me, where I was like, wow, that was actually a good spot. Like, this guy's not bad. I usually don't like these 3-on-3 matches, but since it opened up with some pretty good spots and technical wrestling, some great ring work from Gable to start things off, it wasn't bad. It was a decent match.
Can't say if it was really decent. Like I said, 6 and 8-man tags. How many times have we seen this? The finish is what it is. It wasn't the greatest finish.
Another
it was a
roll
trip
up,
to a
man.
cradle.
Just
another roll up. 1, 2, 3.
They've been doing that a lot lately. They did it a few times tonight.
They have, but I just thought this match was just unnecessary. Like, really, who is the real star out of this? I thought they were trying to push this Ezekiel character. I thought he would be the big star in this match, and it turned out he wasn't.
I was kind of shocked that he took the L, obviously, because Kevin Owens helped, trip him, and then they got the quick roll up and all that. But I mean, Montez took another crazy bump in this match. Other than that, I gave it a 3-star. I only give it a 3-star because there was some good opening spots, like really actually impressive spots. So I give those guys the 3-star. Everything else, it didn't make even sense. It didn't make sense, the match. And especially if you're building this guy up to be a star, you just have him taking a loss already. Like, what are we doing here?
I forgot to mention there was a nice spot by Ford. He went for that blockbuster, but then Gable countered it to the Northern Lights suplex. That was a cool spot.
That was big time.
Yeah, that was a nice spot, I thought. So that was pretty cool. But overall, I think I may actually be on the same page. I think I'm going to go with a 2 here.
2? Okay. I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
And I don't even like these type of matches. So for me to be a 2 is just being nice because there was some nice spots.
I don't like 3-on-3s usually because they just waste time and people don't get the same shine they do in a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-2, something like that. Whatever, it's all right. After that, we got into AJ taking us into a commercial break. Coming back from the break, we had a little interview with AJ Styles where he was basically challenging Edge again, saying, you know what, if I beat Damian tonight, he's banned from ringside at Backlash. Edge, of course, had to have a rebuttal later on, which we'll get into, but that package went into another package, a lot of video packages, that's all I see on Raw every day. Again, another package with Sonya Deville reminding us what happened again from last week, whatever. And then we had another segment between Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville where they were talking about, of course, all their abusive behavior and the investigation. What do you think? Do you think she's been abusing her power? I think she has, obviously. Pretty badly.
Just the same crap that we always see every freaking month and every freaking week with this woman. So she's always abusing it. And
storyline, man. Why aren't they bringing the hammer down on her?
Why? But why is it the same storyline? It's always the same crap. We've seen this on SmackDown. Pierce was like, you must have a match. Vince McMahon is looking into abusing your power. We've seen this storyline many times.
Any executive power, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's going to make the match any fucking different, really. I mean, she still tried to fucking cheat. The ref didn't let her get away with it. Overall, the match was I gave it, I don't even fucking want to grade it. I'm not even going to get into the grade yet because that's not what happened. After this, we had Veer Mahan bringing us into commercial. Veer Mahan then opened a match against Bert Hansen. Now, you may have never heard of Bert Hansen before, but everybody in Greensboro, North Carolina was proud of Bert Hansen because he was from down the block. He works at a local restaurant over there, and he's a professional wrestler, and he's been dreaming about becoming a wrestler and wrestling on Monday Night Raw, and he had his dreams come true tonight. And his opening debut match on Monday Night Raw was a absolute disaster of a fucking squash match. The only thing I liked about the whole match is Burt did get his one shot in. He hit Veer in the face with a nice elbow that I appreciated. It looked stiff and I liked it. But then, of course, Veer made him pay. Did you catch the elbow shot? And right away, tell me, what did you grade this match?
I can't even rate this crap. I'm telling you right now, I just can't. The only thing that just started off was basically a one-arm carry slam all the way to the turnbuckle on this poor guy from North Carolina. And basically, it was just another squash match. We saw a wicked clothesline. But I'll give it to this guy. Whoever the hell he is, North Carolina should be proud because he actually sold some hell of a bumps there.
Yeah.
He took he made it look good. I'll give it to him when Veer hit the wicked clothesline. He actually sold that real good.
Yeah.
So you got to give it to the guy. But overall, I mean, I don't like it. I didn't even like the end when he just stood there like on that rope while Veer is just walking away. I'm like, okay, buddy, this is just like, yeah, no, it's not for me. So I don't know.
Maybe we'll see Burt Hanson again on NXT one day. Let's see. Or maybe another squash match on Monday Night Raw, maybe SmackDown. Who knows? We'll see. Overall, I gave it a 1 star.
Hey, your local gym.
I gave the match a 1 star because it was fucking terrible. It's the same thing we've seen from this guy again. No real character development besides his, they just want you to see him smash people and then, of course, abuse them after he already gets the win. Like an asshole. That's what an asshole does. It was bad. It was bad. After this, we got another video replay showing you what happened with Edge, with AJ Styles in the locker room. And then this led in immediately into what was probably the only good moment of the night. I actually loved this match, and you're going to be shocked right now because I'm going to go right into the grading right away, and then I'm going to tell you why I gave it what I gave it. And then, I gave this match a 5-star match. 5-star match. There was some actually impressive moments in this match for what it was supposed to be, and because you got to see a lot of things, which I'm sure you're going to want to get into. Your boy Finn Balor got to look good at the end of the night. He got to look like a champion. He put up the 2 sweet, signs of things to come. You got the absolute faction of Edge coming together on TV live, telling you the name, Judgment Day. You have the potential faction.
Horrible name.
Maybe, but it's the name, and Edge still does the job.
Yeah, it's also the name of previous pay-per-views we had in the past called Judgment Day.
And guess what? Those pay-per-views were lit.
And where are they now? They don't exist.
They're in Edge's head.
A bad name.
Edge's
head.
Bad
name. This is probably Bruce Pritchard's head.
Bruce Pritchard's head. So
I know so.
Listen.
This is back created. My sources outside told me this is Bruce.
Did you enjoy
Pritchard's
the match?
idea.
Did you think it was a good match? And what are you rating this match? Tell me about the match.
I thought we would talk about the promo. You going straight to the match. I kind of like
I'm
the
talking
promo.
about the whole thing, the whole presentation, because it was a nice chunk of time, and there was a lot to dive into. You had Edge coming in, cutting a hell of a promo, putting on the hillbilly voice again, making fun of everybody, really getting the heat of the crowd, making everybody boo him. You had his full intensity on the microphone, and then you had Damien actually looking in character, not saying a fucking word, looking like a badass, looking like a good sidekick to have. And then you have this new dark creature, Edge. You think you know me, bitches? And he's just talking shit. He didn't stutter once. He didn't make a mistake. He was a fucking 5-star on the microphone, which helped plug that match. Because then, I was more invested in the match because of Edge's work. If it wasn't for Edge's promo, and then the whole, 2 sweet at the end, that match isn't a 5-star. It's probably a 3. For me.
I don't know. I must have something in my eye, folks. Hold on a second. Take this out real quick. Sometimes you got these. Sometimes you got these things in your eyes because I don't know. I can't give this a 5-star match because Finn Balor coming out and Edge cutting a great promo. Are you kidding me right now? I give this a 1. A 1. And that's 1 star is actually for Finn Balor trying to save this whole goddamn thing. First of all, it started so hot. It started so hot that all North Carolina, all the fans, everybody was in it. Big pops, boos, and splits. It was all over the place. Edge was just crapping on all the crowd, telling them they can't even tie their shoes or even count where they even sit in the arena. I thought that was brilliant. But I got to see more from Damian Priest, man. What I saw is some hesitation in some certain spots in the match. I didn't really like the way he delivers his kind of like, I don't know if that's a spinning roundhouse kick that he does, but I don't know. It doesn't come off right. I don't like those kind of spots. I'm not seeing quite a lot from him. He looks a little stiff to me when he's moving around the ring. Overall, I thought AJ was kind of carrying this match, selling the arm.
Absolutely.
When Priest was trying to go for the superplex, Styles basically countered it and just did that from off the turnbuckle, the spinning power bomb. I thought that was pretty cool. There's nothing really interesting that I was just like, wow, except for the end, like you mentioned, when Finn Balor came out. So it kind of makes sense why when you were going into the whole Bullet Club, the anniversary is tomorrow, 9 years. So that's the whole thing of why. I thought that was a cool moment. That's why I gave it a star. But overall, I don't really think Damian Priest could even wrestle, man. He looks stiff to me.
I used to agree with you.
He did a nice. What I give it to him, he did a nice choke slam power into the choke slam power bomb. He just basically sat down. That was actually a good spot. But overall, I didn't see nothing impressive.
Listen, what I noticed in that match was Damian Priest kept his hands up during a chop, and you could literally see AJ getting pissed off. And then from there, Damian took a little control of the match. He followed up with a big string of power moves, some chain wrestling. You could see AJ carrying his ass. AJ was focusing heavy on his leg. They did a lot of different moves, double spills outside. But overall, Damian has improved. He's better than he was, a year ago. And you can see the improvement now just a little bit. It's not much. But you can see Edge rubbing off on him. You can see that Edge has been in the ring with him, giving him pointers on how to move. You don't think so?
I disagree.
His footwork improved tonight.
I think his run was better in NXT.
Well, first of all, his run just started here. To be honest, it just started.
He had the run. He had the belt. It just didn't put asses to seats. That's what it is. Let's face facts. He was U.S. champion.
I'm just saying he's improved.
He wasn't putting asses to seats.
You can't even agree that he's just improved a little bit over the last couple of weeks compared to what he was.
I just think overall, even when
he's a one star,
he just looks stiff. I don't know. He just looks stiff to me.
Well,
even when he's standing next to Edge.
You know what? I appreciated the stiffness because it actually brought out a lot of intensity from AJ Styles, and maybe it's because the Bullet Club anniversary is tomorrow. He's hyped up. I enjoyed.
Can't
AJ.
Be stiff in the ring.
Listen, fine,
can't be stiff
but
in the ring.
AJ was doing a hell of a job selling, man. They went to a commercial
break. He had
break.
to. The guy's stiff. He had to.
We came back from break.
He's like one of those men control.
AJ quickly regaining control with a huge power bomb that was a reversal off the top rope, which I thought was the best move of the night. It was a nice, impressive spot. There was an impressive backbreaker completed by both men. Damian was locking in on the shoulder, setting up for the finish. AJ countered with a big fucking move over there. He went for the phenomenal forearm. There was a lot of craziness in the match. The forearm was a counter, and then Damian hit that chokeslam that Jay was talking about off the phenomenal forearm. The ripcord missed. AJ went for the calf crusher, and then instead of having a nice finish with a finishing move or anything like that, we just had the quick. Actually, I should only give the match a 4-star for it having a goddamn quick roll-up again. Another roll-up victory on Raw. I'm sick of it. Sick of the roll-ups. There's too many of them.
1 star. 1 star.
I'm changing my grade. I'm giving it, because of the roll-up now. Everything was going so well to that damn roll-up. That really bothered me tonight. But I let it go at the moment because of Edge's work. Edge did good work out there.
I just think the end is sloppy. I don't think we need to see 2 chairs coming out you're gonna do this whack-ass concerto. Come on, I'm tired of that.
Yeah, that's true.
That spot is just too much.
They should come up with something new. If they're a new faction, they should have a new move set. The concerto just goes.
Or have a new name.
Anyway, I'm changing it to a 4-star because of the roll-up. After that, we got a promo between MVP and Omos, And then, of course, Cedric Alexander, who I used to be a huge fan of, but lately you don't really see him on TV anymore. And again, tonight he was used as just filler time to make Bobby Lashley. Did you notice tonight in the Bobby Lashley segment that they just really did a good job of introducing him and like zooming in on his pose? They love this guy. He's gonna sell some toys. He looks like a fucking E-Man.
Yeah, he does. He's just not being utilized, and that's the sad part about certain wrestlers over there. They just have this great talent, and they're not being utilized. You could tell that MVP vouches for him in the back.
Oh, absolutely.
The producer, for sure.
Yeah.
So, to get this spot is better than anything.
That's true. We see Cedric basically begging MVP for, attention, saying, you know what, I'm going to go fight Bobby Lashley, and I'm going to prove to you that her business was good. And we can be good again. MVP basically at first didn't want anything to do with him, told him, get out of here. I've moved on to bigger things. I don't upset the giant. The whole nonsense.
Yeah.
I gave that segment a 3-star. That promo.
Oh, we rate?
I rated it.
I can't.
I rated it. Yeah, I gave it a 3-star because of MVP shitting on Cedric pretty much.
Zero Cheerio.
After that big donut from Jay, we got a segment between Miz and Mustafa Ali for Miz TV. Now, this was funny in the beginning. I liked Miz's work in the beginning of this. Ali makes his way to the ring. Miz first then cuts off his music. Then Miz cuts off his mic. And then, of course, before asking him, he said, is it okay if I call you the Moose? Right? The Moose? Is that okay? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, Moose.
Miz was reminding him that WWE forgot about him during his time off. He tells Ali not to go on Twitter and complain about it.
Great line.
I like it. Miz was brutal tonight.
Great line.
What'd you think of the opening segment between them two?
I thought it was great because that's exactly what we need to do when Ali comes out. Cut him out. Cut his mic, cut everything out. I don't even know why he's getting the spotlight. I don't know what he did to Vince McMahon. I don't know what they did in the background for him to even get time on Raw. It's just like, what the hell? And what was the point of all this match? I mean, when we get into it later on, what was the end result? What was all of this about? It's just like, I don't get it.
It was all leading into a championship match that was going to become a handicap match because, of course, then Theory got involved. Theory was talking about his mentor and his friend Vincent McMahon and how he got Miz's loss from last week taken off the record books. And then also because he talked to Vince, Vince has agreed to give Mustafa Ali a U.S. championship match. But, of course, it will be a handicap match. And this, of course, led right into that match. Theory, of course, was looking incredible as usual. This kid's a big time performer. He had a bunch of great spots. My favorite, I don't know if you noticed it. Remember that one spot where he held the ropes open just to send Ali flying out? That's a classic heel move, bro. This kid he's legit. He's absolutely legit.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that whole segment and match?
I think Theory's getting a lot more comfortable on the mic. I think we've been seeing it the last 2 weeks, so happy for that. I just enjoyed that kind of spot. There was a drop kick that Ali did that led to a net breaker to the Miz, so I thought that was another spot he did that Ali did that was pretty good. Besides taking that bump, because that's a great bump that he took when Theory lifted the ropes, like you mentioned. So those two spots, I thought that was good. We saw the skull-crushing finale that Miz hit when he was distracted, when Theory distracted Ali. 1, 2, 3, so at least we didn't see a roll-up on that finally, right?
Yeah.
After all these roll-ups we've been seeing all night long on Raw, we see something different. So that just makes me question to what I was saying earlier. What was the whole point for the last 2 weeks with Ali? To what? Kill time? There was nobody else? Somebody had COVID? I don't know.
I was kind of surprised.
Didn't get it.
I was surprised with how much time.
You would figure he'd go over, but you would figure Ali go over.
Nah, dude.
But I didn't want it. Some fans were even. Some fans in North Carolina lost their mind. They were actually cheering. I was like, these people lost their mind. They must have been drinking some good whiskey or beer.
He was getting some cheers.
I don't know what the hell.
But you have to give credit to the work of Theory and Miz. Their heel work is incredible. They know how to draw heat. They know how to just be bad guys right now. They know how to do it. You know?
Theory's starting to look more like a heavyweight. I think if we give him like another 6 months,
I'm just saying,
get
you
more
gotta
bigger.
be pretty fucking talented if you get everybody in that arena to start chanting for Mustafa Ali. You gotta be pretty good at your job.
So, I don't even know. I can't explain it. Because
Ali's
he was
good, bro.
really bad on the mic.
Ali
he did
is
not
actually
cut
a good
any
wrestler.
good lines.
No knock to him, bro, but like, you know, he has to
And you
pay his dues.
What about the line he went back with the Twitter when the Miz hit him with that Twitter line? He's like, "Oh, I'm not on Twitter.
Listen,
I'm here
his
for the
mic skills,
people."
His mic skills have dropped significantly. Like, he used to be able to cut like really good vignettes, and he had some really good vignettes back in the day. But again, vignettes aren't live. When I see him live, it's a shit show on the mic. It's bad. Anyway, I gave this a 3-star, but just because Theory was in it. If Theory wasn't in it, this was a 1-star piece of trash. But Theory's a beast, so it's a 3-star automatically, man. We're giving it 1, 2, 0.
We give it half a star.
Half a star.
So
all right,
that's where I'm going with this. Yeah.
All right, after this, guess what, guys? Guess what we got after this, Jose? Can you take a fucking guess what we got after this?
Well, I don't know. We just kind of forgot something because I love the ending of this whole bad match that we've seen.
What was that? The fucking face-crushing finale off the bottom rope?
No, when Ciampa attacked Ali.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true. We did have another run, and you know what? I have that at the bottom of my notes for this shitty fucking match. But that's true. Ciampa came back out to attack Ali yet again to further his spot on Raw as the run-in heel. Now, what's fucking crazy about this is I actually like this better than his first week. Because his first week, he just showed up in a comedic relief support role talking about Ezekiel. And now we have Ezekiel losing 2 weeks later. But, you know, now at least they're getting, hopefully, Ciampa on a good path to just be a bad guy.
Second week is attacking Ali. This is a basically enhancement to Ciampa, right? So this is just another roadblock, an easy target. This is where it needs to go. But I would like to see Theory, you know, fight somebody for the U.S., but it doesn't even look like that anytime soon.
He's going to be fighting a bunch of people that are going to lose to him. Anybody who fights Theory right now in the next 2 years is a loser. I promise you.
Well, I like to see a good match with him with somebody, but I don't know. I feel like we see this all the time.
Will be a good match because Theory's in the match, and he's the youngest United States champion of all time. And don't you forget it.
I don't know about Ali, man. I don't know. Can't make it look better.
Theory's the man, bro. Basically, we had another video package yet again with Ruth, Tozawa, Dana Brooke, Reggie, Tamina, that whole 24/7 bullshit. They begin to fight over the title, and Truth reminds them this is the honeymoon phase. Nikki Ash sneaks up and steals the 24/7 title, wins the championship, and then Dana tells Reggie that, you know, he better get a rematch if they want to save the marriage. That, of course, happens. We go right into the match, which is rare. It's rare that we get a match for the 24. You know, a video package in the back. It's never usually in the ring. So tonight.
So let me get this straight, because I don't really watch these 24/7 matches. You're telling me, and then the fans out here. So every time there's a 24/7 title match, there's nobody that can interfere? Because I didn't know that. When they were saying that, that was news to me. So is that the rule, Savage? Is that how it is?
I think that's a bullshit rule, because the whole title is a bullshit title, and we shouldn't even cover it on the show anymore, because that's how fucking bad it is.
It was actually in the match card for Raw tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Can you believe that? Can you believe this? Can we burn it? Should burn it.
I'm going right into it. I give it a 2-star. Slightly entertaining. Dana Brooke wins. Who gives a fuck? Move on. What do you say?
No stars.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
Waste of time.
I mean, the whole crew was there ringside during the match. Dana definitely lacks intensity when hitting the ropes. I mean, she still hits the ropes, and she doesn't even, try to, hit the ropes. She doesn't like the pain, because those ropes are real ropes. They don't have the bounce like the steel wire ropes. I don't know if you knew this, Jose, but WWE to this day still uses tight, real ropes. Like old school, like the same ropes that ships used back in the day. Indie shows, AEW, all these other companies, they use the ropes that have the metal beam in the middle of them. So it has more of a bounce. Okay? So when you hit the ropes in WWE, it fucking hurts every fucking time. That's why they call it the big leagues. Because, you know, that shit is real. So when you see these people that aren't hitting the ropes hard, they're not with it, bro. They're not with it. Look at the way everybody hits the ropes, and you can tell what kind of wrestler.
Yeah, look at Bobby Lashley over the weekend. He hit the rope and he fell head first.
Yeah, that's bad ring maintenance.
Rope collapsed.
He's a big boy. That was
nice
crazy,
ropes.
Man.
Nice ropes.
Crazy.
It was a crazy spot.
That was crazy.
Really injured himself.
Well, thank God that all just like worked out. He didn't get hurt. You know,
God, indeed.
Like I was saying, Dana still lacks intensity whenever she's hitting the ropes. Somehow she wins the title back, and then all hell breaks loose. Everyone was trying to pin her again, including her husband. Once he tried to pin her, she got tight and basically said, "That's it. I want a fucking divorce." And now that's where this whole epic saga is going. This 2-star, slightly entertaining saga. I'm giving it a 2-star because now I'm intrigued. We had the wedding. Now we had this. Now we're gonna have the divorce.
This is not wrestling.
Is she gonna have a
fans out here? These fans out here are gonna curse us out for even talking about this.
You think Reggie's gonna knock her up? Yeah, this is here.
They're actually writing comments and they're like, "This is really, really bad," because I can't believe these two guys are talking about this crap. Like, really?
All right. Well, anyway, after that, we had another segment with Seth Rollins coming to the ring again with everyone enjoying his theme music. And, of course, before we go to commercial, we find out it's Seth freaking Rollins Appreciation Night, which I'm all about. Mm-hmm. I appreciate Seth Rollins. I don't know about you, Jay, but I appreciate Seth Rollins and all his hard work. Even the announce team was humming his theme song tonight. As we come back from commercial break, we're yet reminded again of what happened earlier with the Bloodline and RKO Bro and Drew, and yet again, we're reminded again. Basically, this is the longest break I've ever seen for a segment in my life. Seth Rollins was probably
something was so weird with that. What was so weird with that? We went back from commercial break and then we were just watching highlights from Backlash.
Bro, he was in the ring for like 10 minutes before he comes on the mic and says, "Oh,
that was very weird.
Oh, baby, Monday Night Rollins
that was very weird.
Has come." He reminds us that last week we had 20 years of Warden, and, you know, that was all right and stuff. But tonight it's time to celebrate someone who truly deserves it. Someone who is underappreciated. Someone who is a fashion icon. Someone who is a sex symbol. Someone who's a visionary. A revolutionary. Everyone stand up and clap. Because tonight Seth freaking Rollins Appreciation Night is going down. Jay, do you appreciate Seth Rollins?
No. I don't. I don't appreciate Seth Rollins or this character or his funky suits or whatever you want to call it.
Right now?
No.
Oh my god. There was a lot for this match. It was a big whole segment leading up to the match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania Backlash. More of the same. The only big deal about tonight was that Seth brought up Dusty's father again. Basically telling him your father was not a champion because he wasn't good enough. And you're not going to be a champion, Cody, because I'm here. And as long as I'm here, you're never going to be that guy. Basically, you know, the gist of it. More of the same. I still love the segment. I gave it a 4-star for being like star-studded, and it was good. I can't give it a 5 though because it's still more of the same. You know, we didn't get a big confrontation or anything like that. They did fight. Like, it was a little scramble, obviously, because Seth crossed the line. He beat him up a little bit, but like we didn't get any moves or anything like that. It was just more punches, and then Seth running away. And then that sets up the pay-per-view match, which we're going to see on Sunday. What did you think of the segment?
I thought there was some very nice things. If I were to rate it, I'd give it 3.5.
Okay.
That's
high for
there
you.
was very nice things. Seth Rollins is saying he's the damn spotlight. He's the standard bearer of this company. A lot of "We Want Cody" chants, so I thought that was pretty cool. I thought what was even funnier was Cody came out to like 3 different pyros, if you didn't catch that. So that's just telling me what the hell. Like the first one comes out, and the second one, and then the third one, and I'm like, what is this? Is this just part of the act of upstaging Rollins, or this is just how it is? Because I seen this before,
Yeah.
even before this Rollins feud, that they just cut the pyro like 2-3 times on him. So
Yeah.
it's nothing new. I thought it was funny if anybody caught that. The Dusty
My
shots
favorite
were
part
cool.
was when the fans were chanting Dusty, and then he said, "But just like you, he was an egomaniac who thought he was larger than life and transcended the business. He was the delusional person that you are, and the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree." Like that's what really
Right.
set it off. Like he was talking,
Right.
Seth was talking that shit, which makes this rematch now. And by the way, who are you taking on
Well,
this match?
Well, first of all, I just thought that I was expecting more to hype up the match. That's why I kind of gave it the 3.5. But who am I having this match?
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
go over
gonna
more
go.
backlash matches later, but for now,
For now, I got Cody. I mean, I don't think you can bury him, especially just coming back. I mean, if
yeah.
they really bury him to Rollins, that would just be a big mistake of
Maybe
what the
it's some
hell
kind of controversial
is going
ending or
on.
something. Maybe they both knock each other out.
No, I just don't. I don't think it's the time to bury Cody, especially when
Cody's
he's
going
trying to
over
go
clean.
for the match. He has to.
Yeah, I
It
call
makes
it. Yeah,
sense.
I'm calling that too. Cody's going over clean. All right, so you gave it a 3, right? Or 3.5?
Well,
you said?
3.5. Don't
3.5,
forget, he threw the
3.5,
jacket into the
3.5.
crowd,
I'm
so
going
one
with
of
a
those
4.
lucky fans got a jacket.
I'm going
Right?
with a 4. I'm going with a 4. After that, we got into another video of last week's arm wrestling contest between Omos and Bobby Lashley. More video. And basically after that, we got Bobby Lashley coming to the ring. And honestly, they're still going very hard to make him look like a complete boss. Incredible entrance with the pyro, the pose. Then we had the match between Bobby and Cedric. Your traditional squash match. I give it a 2-star match because honestly, MVP kind of ruins the match. He comes down, he starts talking shit. And I didn't really want to see that. I wanted to see Cedric's a good fucking wrestler. I wanted to see a good match. Bobby winning, of course, but give me a good match, 10 minutes, not all this interference and whatever, man. 2-star quick squash match. What do you think? You agree? Same shit, or is it? You got something to say?
I think this is a warning to Omos. If you do not perform on Sunday, that I think WWE is just going to give up on him. So
Maybe.
Omos, or what I like to call him, almost, because he's not there.
Almost.
Was basically
I like
just
that.
I don't understand. I don't understand this whole purpose of this, but whatever. The botch of the night has to go to Cedric Alexander when he went for the suicide dive and he missed him completely, literally 5 feet away. And basically, Corey Graves is trying to say, Bobby Lashley just basically squashed him like a fly.
Son,
There
47
is no
seconds.
way. So I thought it was hilarious. I gave it a 1 just for that.
Oh, you
Overall, there
talking
was
about
nothing
when
interesting.
Bobby spiked him in the outside?
I'm talking about when Bobby was outside distracted and then Alexander was going to go for the suicide dive. And
And then he just spiked him on the fucking mat outside.
Well, they said he squashed him, but we all know he missed completely.
I
He
think
literally dove face first.
I think he saved his life, to be honest with you.
I think he busted his ass in live TV because he literally botched that. That was a
What are
botch
you
of the
rating
night.
that? I'm only giving it a 2
A
star.
1. A 1 for the
You know what? I'm
botch.
changing
1
it
for
to
the
a 1. I'm
botch.
changing it to a 1 too because MVP shit on that match. He just did. After that, we had an interview with Liv Morgan, the Botch Queen. I couldn't believe the Botch Queen was getting the interview, and I can't believe the Botch Queen went over tonight. After all her fuck ups the last 2 weeks on live TV, she didn't actually make any mistakes tonight. I didn't really enjoy this match that much. I gave this match a 1 star. I thought it was a piece of shit. I didn't really like the match. There wasn't
What
that
about the
many
main
good
event?
spots. Yeah, the main event. There wasn't really that many good spots.
Oh, you're going right into it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going right into it. Main event, man. There was a match between Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Asuka. Becky's been waiting in the ring for the last 10 minutes for all 5 ladies to come out. We go to another commercial break after the 5 ladies come out. You have to, like, with these 6-man matches, like, these introductions take, like, 10 fucking minutes. It's insane, man. You know? Back from commercial break, the main event finally starts, and I've never been less excited for a Raw main event in my life. That's a real statement. I've never been less excited for a Raw main event in my life than tonight. May 2nd, 2022. Now it's May 3rd. But the damage has been done. And this might be the worst Raw I've ever seen. It was trash overall. It was fucking trash. This match was trash, and Raw was fucking trash. I'm pretty upset that I wasted 3 hours. The best part about Raw tonight, Cora, I'm not even gonna get into the match because I didn't fuck that match. You can get into it after if you want. It's all you. It's all you. All I say is this: the only good thing about Raw tonight was that it ended at 11 o'clock.
Well, there was some nice spots in the match. You know, when Becky did the baseball slide on the outside and she brought Liv in and did the flying leg drop off the top rope. It's not every time you see big time Bex do that, especially on Raw. So there was some nice spot. What about when Asuka basically bumped Sonya Deville from the turnbuckle with the hip cut, what they call it, into Liv caught her into the code breaker? I thought that was a hot spot. You could basically see this whole match was basically setting up Liv Morgan, like I've been telling you since last show, that Liv Morgan is a star. And this is what they see as well. And this was a big example of basically them pushing her to the moon. They pushed her into promo before, but let's face it, she really can't cut a good promo. She needs a little more work on that. But they try to make her look like a star. You know what? You hit it right on the money. She didn't miss any of the spots, even the spot tonight when she did that code breaker. She was on point, and that's exactly where you need to be to get over. The fans weren't really, I guess, invested in her, if you want to sort of say.
Not at all.
We could see that when she comes out, there's just little cheers here and there. But overall, you know, you got to look at it. She has everything. She just has to work a little bit more on the mic, a little bit more in the ring. But overall, she hits the spots tonight, and that's what it was about. She even got the victory with the Oblivion 1, 2, 3. That's a nice move as well. So, I mean, this was basically making her a star. You could see it, even Bianca, you could even see it. You could just see it by the body language throughout all women in the match. Even big time Bex taking spots for Liv. Everybody was just doing their spot. I thought Rhea Ripley looked like a star here.
Yeah,
I thought she was the most underrated person overall in the match. She had some nice spots. There was that nice double suplex she did with Sonya Deville, you know. So I thought that was a nice spot. They did that on Liv. That was a good spot. Overall, she had the facial expressions it was showing. So overall, she looked like a star here, but everybody else, I didn't really enjoy Asuka in this match. I don't know why. I enjoyed her last week with the Becky Lynch promo. This week in the match, I just expecting more. So I was a little bit disappointed on that. But overall, I think I'm gonna just give it. I actually just gonna give it 2.5. 2.5 just for Liv Morgan just being the star throughout this whole match and just basically hitting her marks, and she did her job tonight. She may not do it every time, like you mentioned, but tonight she did, and she looked like a star. But overall, I just hate these 6-man tags. I'm tired of this crap, and that's why I gave it 2.5. If it was straight up singles or maybe a tag match, I give it a 3, maybe 3.5, but 2.5 for me.
Well, that's great. I gave it a fucking 1 star for a few reasons. Number one, Bianca Belair was literally calling for all the girls to fucking do the moves. This match was uncoordinated. They barely went over anything. You had Bianca Belair going like this to people, so, like, come on, we got to go now. Like, she was literally giving shit away. Like, it looked so bad. Too. This was the most unprofessional match I've ever seen Bianca have. I've never seen her so blatantly calling things out, almost trying to make it look like fake. It was just fucking bad. Then the ending, for a match to be good, for a match to have at least 2-3 stars, it has to have a decent beginning, a good middle, and a decent end, like a sandwich. You know what I mean? You got to have all the ingredients. This match didn't have a good ending. The ending was completely sloppy. The girls looked like they really didn't have a fucking idea what was about to happen. It looked like it was a last-second call to make Liv go over. It looked like the whole match was called on the fly, to be honest with you. In my opinion, as a professional wrestler that used to wrestle back in the day, it looked like that match was 100% called on the fly, which is why you had Bianca going like this, because she'd rather go like this than fucking kill someone in the middle of the fucking ring on live TV. Sloppy match. Made no sense. It makes no sense that Liv Morgan just goes over out of nowhere after fucking up so much on live TV for 3 weeks in a row. But congratulations to her. She did go over, and she also, like Jay mentioned and I mentioned, she didn't make one fucking mistake. So tonight, she did end up looking like a star. The only star in the ring. Maybe. Because it was a 1-star match.
Well, I think it's just new for Bianca, right? Like, you have to, like, lead not one person, not two. You gotta lead, like, basically 5 other women, right? You basically gotta tell them what to do. You're the champion, right?
Yeah, of course.
You're a 2-time champion, but we could all see that there was some calls that you mentioned
Champion
that
or not,
it was obvious
that
it was obvious you're making those calls, but
she
looked pretty sloppy. She looked sloppy in this match.
The whole match,
overall,
a lot of it.
it wasn't about her, and I just like the part that we didn't see much of her, so I kind of enjoyed that part because it was just sloppy on her.
The only part of the match that I fucking enjoyed was when it was Rhea Ripley and Bianca, because that's actually an interesting matchup that I'd like to see one-on-one.
Well, we've seen it before.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again because they both look evenly matched. And like you said, Rhea Ripley's looking like more of like a badass lately. So I'd like to see her have a shot at the title out of all the people, to be honest. That's me.
I think we need to push Ripley into the group. I hate to say the name Judgment Day, but we got to push her into that group, man. And so is Ciampa. Like, this is just the way they're just cutting it these last 2 weeks.
They're definitely going to recruit, but I don't want to see them get more than 4 members.
No, just 2 more. That's all.
Yeah, 4 is the magic
That's all
number.
you need.
Overall, I'm giving Raw a 1-star for just being fucking video replay happy. A shitty fucking main event with an even shittier ending. The only part of the night I really enjoyed was the whole Edge segment. And then, of course, Cody and Seth because I'm a fan. Other than that, everything else was horrible. Horrible. 1-star Raw. 1-star Raw.
I'm gonna go with 2 stars because the only thing I like was Cody and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins cut a good promo as always, and Cody was there, and I think they kind of just saved this whole Raw to me even giving it a 2-star. If it wasn't for them, I probably would go with you with the 1-star.
He's already
2-star.
All right, he's already being nicer than me tonight. He's going with a 2-star. I'm going with a 1-star. That was Monday Night Raw. Real quick, Jay, before we get off for the night, just real quick, I'm gonna say the match, and then I'm gonna say who I think's gonna win. You're gonna say who you think's gonna win. Then you're gonna say goodnight to everybody.
Place your bets. Place your bets.
All right, here we go. Edge versus AJ. I see Edge winning this match.
I see Edge with a new member of Judgment Day.
Okay, I'd like to see that. Like we said earlier, Cody versus Seth. I think we both agree Cody's taking this one, so we're just going to go on to the next one. And I'm going to let you get first pick. Flair versus Ronda.
Flair.
I agree. Flair's going to retain and continue being the greatest female women's champion of all time. Next, Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin.
Don't want to see.
You go ahead. Who do you want to see get this dub?
I can't. I really have to pick?
Yeah.
Well, if Madcap doesn't go over, it's just a waste.
It's a waste, right?
It's a waste. Even though they're both horrible, but...
I agree. Happy Corbin will continue to be a loser until he turns back into Sad Corbin and then maybe just comes back as Corbin and just starts...
Or it could be like a back row producer in the back. Just,
Yeah.
Just, you could do that.
Yeah. All right, so we're both saying Madcap Moss. And, of course, the main event, 6-man, RK Bro and Drew versus Roman and the Usos. Obviously, I think we're both taking the bloodline on this one.
I do, but something is telling me I may have a change of heart. I'm starting to see that the 6-man may be the only loss that Roman would take without getting pinned, but then he'll start beating Drew the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views, or how long this goes.
I think that goes against the whole point of the bloodline, which is complete dominance. And you don't want to make them look weak. If they make them look weak right now, the T-shirt sales will drop. They don't want that to happen. They want you to acknowledge Roman. So I'm calling it right now. Roman Reigns is winning this match.
Think about it.
Why do you think they made Randy look so good? Why do you think they already let them get the RKOs tonight and everything? And then last week they celebrated Randy, made him look like a god. Let him come out and RKO 26
You gotta basically let him take a loss, but let the bloodline take the loss, right? And then the next pay-per-view, have him fight Drew, Hell in a Cell, whatever the next pay-per-view is, and that's it. And build the money right there, and have Roman go over. And then go over in the rematch, and then somebody
I'm glad
new.
on this one we're both disagreeing, because finally we're kind of disagreeing on this one. You think it's going to go one way, I think it's going to go the other. It's going to make the pay-per-view interesting.
We'll see.
It's going to make the pay-per-view more interesting.
We'll see. I said in the beginning, I may have a change. That doesn't necessarily mean I
right now is Roman?
I said I may have. Well, it was always that, but I say I may have a change.
All right.
This started off like that.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how the week goes.
Well, anyway, tomorrow night I'm coming live for NXT Spring Break. Jay may be here. I think
Cora Jade.
We want to see this fucking Spring Break bad. There's going to be some sick matches. Yeah.
Savage, you know Cora Jade's my cousin?
Who's Cora? Oh, really?
Cora Jade. Jose Cora Jade.
She's your cousin?
That's my cousin, man. Tomorrow night.
Are you ready for
taking the win? Taking the W.
Tomorrow night we're gonna get Nathan Frazier versus Grayson Waller. We're gonna get the Creed brothers versus the Viking Raiders. We're gonna get Solo Sikoa versus Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship in a triple threat match. And then, of course, we're going to get the sit-down meeting between Tony D'Angelo and Santos Escobar.
Waste of time.
And then, of course, you're going to have the main event between Braun Breaker and the fake Charles Manson of NXT. He's got his minions running around. Who are you calling for this match? Right now, live. Who is
Braun Breaker.
And how about the triple threat?
And I like Joe Gacy. I always like Joe Gacy.
And the triple
I just don't like this minion.
I think Cameron's going to retain in this match.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron. Big time. All right, well, we're going to see you guys tomorrow for Spring Break, man. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for joining us.
Jay,
thank you for taking the time to be with us yet again.
Always, baby. All elite, baby.
We'll be back for Spring Break tomorrow. Have a good